Hey, what's good? I'm Coach Colin Castello with Shotmechanics Basketball, and in today's video, we're gonna really take a deep dive to see if Ben Simmons has truly cracked the shooting code.
Ntilikina, a below-average three-point shooter. There's Simmons! Yes! He did it! Ben Simmons! Hold me, Ben!
Now, it's no secret that a ton of the talk in the offseason surrounded Philadelphia and Ben Simmons and whether he would be an efficient jump shooter. And what we're seeing so far this season is that he's only taken one three-pointer, but he actually hit the very first one he took the other night. Now, what we're gonna do today is do a full breakdown, talk about what he's doing great, what he could use a little bit of improvement on, and hopefully at the end of this is gonna give you a little bit better understanding of where Ben Simmons is at on his jump shot and where he's going to go. But before we jump into it, if you wanna optimize your own jump shot, all you gotta do is click the top link in the description down below and get free instant access to my quick draw shooting workout. This is a shooting workout I put together specifically for you guys to help you make more shots, get a more fast and quick and efficient jump shot in real games. So click the top link in the description down below, 100% free access. All right, so like I mentioned, Ben Simmons hit his first career regular season three-point jump shot. And it was a corner jump shot, and I gotta be honest, it looked really good. And I was pretty impressed with where his mechanics are at compared to where they've been in the past. Now, overall, he's not scorching the nets. This is the first attempt he's had on the season. And although he made it, as a career three-point shooter, he's now 1 for 18 from the three-point line. So although he's taking 18 threes in his NBA career, a lot of them aren't really threes that are, in rhythm in the offense. A lot of them have been, half-court heaves or last-second shots or things that he had to shoot, right? So that 1 for 18 statistic doesn't really tell the full picture of his shooting ability and where he was starting from. But now that he's hit one and it looks pretty good, I would anticipate that he's gonna start taking more and more, and if he can start hitting them consistently, it's gonna turn the Philadelphia 76ers offense up about 5 notches. All right, so now let's break down the shot heard around the world, or at least the shot heard around the 76er nation, and talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly. So the first thing I loved about this jump shot in the corner is he had nice tilted feet. Now, if you notice, most of the great shooters in the NBA, whether it be Steph Curry, James Harden, Kyrie Irving, all those kind of guys, most all of them tilt their feet slightly off to the side when they're getting ready to shoot. And the reason for this is it allows for better fluidity, you don't get as much shoulder tension, and allows better alignment towards the basket. Now, in the past, this is something that Ben Simmons has struggled with quite a bit. He starts to square his feet a little bit, maybe they're just staggered, and at that point it causes his shooting elbow to start to flare out quite a bit, and so the ball doesn't fly straight consistently towards the rim. So the very first thing I noticed on this jump shot, he's got fantastic foot position, and if he can emulate this going forward, he's gonna make a lot more shots because the ball's gonna fly a lot straighter. So what you can do is think about this on your own jump shot. The next time you're in the gym, think about turning your feet just slightly, pretend like there's a clock on the ground and maybe you're turning your feet to 11 o'clock if you're a right-handed player or 1 o'clock if you're a left-handed player, and I promise you, you're gonna have a fluid, smooth jumper just like the one Ben Simmons had. So the next thing that I loved about this jump shot is he actually got really close to getting his shooting palm underneath the basketball. Basically meaning as he was raising the ball up, his palm is getting underneath the ball rather than out on the side of the ball. Now, if we look at a lot of his past jump shots, he had a bad habit of bringing his shooting hand out to the outside of the ball, and because of that, it never gets in perfect straight alignment. So if you're trying to, shoot a basketball, you wanna miss long and short, and if you're adding these left to right variables, it makes it really hard. So on this jumper that he hit the other night, he actually got his palm underneath the basketball a little bit, and I think that made it fly a lot straighter and made it come out of his hand a lot cleaner. Because think about it like this, if your hand's on the side of the basketball and you're getting ready to shoot, as you raise up, it's going to slide off of your ring finger and your pinky finger, most likely causing the ball to fly off to one direction or the other. So if Ben can keep his palm underneath the basketball and moving straight up towards the ceiling, he's gonna knock down a lot more shots as the season progresses. So next thing I love is his soft guide hand. Now, if we look at a lot of his past jump shots, a lot of times his guide hand gets involved, it pushes the ball a little bit extra, and because of that, he's not as consistent as he could be. But with this shot, the guide hand was nice and relaxed on the side of the basketball, just influenced it towards the hoop, but didn't really push it one direction or the other. So it looks like he's been doing a lot of guide hand development, and from what I can tell from this jump shot, it seems to be working. All right, so the last thing I loved about this jump shot is the feet sweep, basically meaning that as he shot, his feet swept forward, so he landed closer to the hoop instead of landing in the exact same spot. Now, landing in the exact same spot on your jumper is a little bit of a myth when it comes to shooting, right? Everybody wants to talk about balance, how you should go straight up and straight down. But unfortunately, that's just not true. Most of the time, if you can sweep your feet forward on your jump shot, you're gonna get better momentum, better power, and better flow into your jumper as well, and also optimize your arc in the process. Now, when you look at Ben Simmons' jumper in the past, whether it be in workouts or in actual game shots, a lot of times the problem is he's got a lot of shoulder tension and everything seems really tight, right? But by sweeping his feet forward, it allows for that fluidity to go through his body and into the basketball, making a much smoother stroke, which in turn is going to be a much more consistent stroke. So I love to see this because this is something that we, realized he wasn't doing a couple years ago. So obviously he's moving in the right direction. Okay, so from this clip, I can tell he's come a long ways, but it's not all roses. There's a few things that if he can optimize and tweak, not only is he going to make more jump shots, but I think Ben Simmons has the opportunity to be a really consistent three-point shooter if he continues on the path and does some of the things we're about to outline. All right, so first up, he's really got to improve his set point timing, basically meaning that the ball reaches his set point up by his forehead while his legs and his body are still loaded. Now, because of this, it gives him a segmented jump shot, so it's a little bit of two motions. He brings the ball up, it pauses for a second, he loads his body, then his body fires, right? The problem with the two motion jump shot is it's really hard to be consistent because you can't get that flow, you can't get that fluidity and that power that transfers from your body to the basketball. If you look at a lot of the best shooters in the world, they most of the time reach their set point as their legs are locking out and their toes are just getting ready to leave the ground. So what's great is this is actually a pretty simple fix if you know how to do it, but what a lot of people don't understand is it's one of the most important keys to being able to knock down shots. So what's really cool about Ben is he's already made improvements and his jump shot's looking better, but if he can even just improve just this one set point timing issue, I think it could really, really help him in the long run. The next thing that I think would help him out a ton is what we call targeting through your eyebrows. Basically meaning that right now when Ben Simmons is shooting, he keeps his eyes in the center of his head, and then to find the rim, he tilts his whole head backwards, right? And this is something that a lot of players do, and it's a mistake that a lot of players make. And the reason why this isn't good is because as I tilt my head, it starts to pull my chest up. And as you pull your chest up, it starts to unravel your hips, where a lot of power and fluidity and a lot of, kind of the important parts of a jump shot come from. Think about all types of different sports, whether it's swinging a baseball bat or throwing a punch in boxing. Most all of the power comes from the hips, and power is one of the most important things on a jump shot because if you can't generate enough power, a lot of times other mechanics start to compensate. So the solution is really simple and something that most people have never even heard of, and that's just targeting through your eyebrows, meaning keeping your head steady and finding the hoop by moving your eyes in your head, not by moving your whole head backwards. So for this, it's going to be super simple for him just to get used to doing it, and by having his head more stationary and having his eyes up, it's going to allow him to keep his chest loaded, his hips loaded, so he gets more power, more momentum, so he's not forced to bring that from a different mechanic in his body. So overall, I'm extremely encouraged where Ben Simmons is at and where he's going. If he can continue to improve, it's going to be a big time get for the 76ers. So hey, if you're new to Shot Mechanics, make sure you hit that subscribe button, ding that bell notification, and then hit the comment section down below and let me know what sort of breakdown you want to see next. And if you want to improve your game, go ahead and click the top link in the description down below. Get free 100% instant access to my quick draw shooting workout. That way we can get your jumper right as well. Again, I'm Coach Colin Castello with Shot Mechanics Basketball. Thanks for watching, and until next time, splash on.